A very good morning to all my dear students of class 6. This is the third class from the story A Different Kind of School by E.V. Lucas from your English book Honeysuckle by NCERT. Today, students, I will start where I have ended last day. Okay. And if you can remember, last day we ended at the portion where Miss Beam has told the narrator to see from the window, and the narrator found that there are many children playing in a beautiful garden, but some of them are disabled. Then Miss Beam explains to the narrator it's not their disability, but they are made to lead the life of disabled for a single day for in every term of their class. It is a part of their class curriculum. Now, students, we will start from here. There is no misery about it. Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind, and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though, even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. So, Miss Beam says that it's not a part of misfortune. It's not a form of pain inflicted to the children. It's a part of their game. And in the process of the game, they are made to realize that what misfortune is. It's very important, students. If you don't understand what is misfortune, then you will never find yourself to be fortunate enough. Actually, we are fortunate. We are fortunate to be born perfect. Okay? And the same thing, you will never realize the worth of the things that you are getting, the toys, the video games, and all these things, the luxury things you are having, if you don't realize that how many children on earth are not getting this, what misfortune is, you will never realize. Okay, that you have to realize. The blind day, of course, really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouth, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. So now Miss Beam explained that it's not the blind day which is the most difficult. Some of the children are saying that the day on which they are not allowed to talk, the dumb day, is the most difficult thing, because on the blind day, their eyes are bandaged, but nobody can bandage the mouth. So it's the to lead this day, they have to solely depend on their willpower that they will not talk. So dumb day is the most difficult thing. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here is a gentleman, come, come, talk to you. Here is a gentleman, come to talk to you, said Miss Beam, and left us. Don't you ever peep? I asked the girl. So here, Miss Beam is telling the girl, one girl who was having the blind day, that see, this gentleman has come to talk to you. Now the narrator asks, don't you ever peep? Peep means, don't you ever try to see? Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating. But I had no idea. It was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you would try. So this girl is telling that it's very awkward and it's very awful that every moment I am at the fear that I will be hit by something. So now the narrator is telling that your helpers are helping you. Then the girl is saying, yes, they are helping me, but I would have helped them better if I were helpers, because I myself have experienced the blind day. Unless you experience the blind day, then you will not be able to help the person who is experiencing the blind day in the manner the person is needing help. Okay, so it's a relief to sit for her. Whenever she will get the chance to see it, it will be a relief for her because she won't be hit by something. She won't be in the fear of getting hit by something. Shall I lead you anywhere? I asked. Oh, yes, she said. Let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days can't be half as bad as these. Having a leg is a kind of game for them. So the girl says that it's the worst, it's the ghastly experience to spend a blind day. So having a lame day is a kind of fun because when they are experiencing the lame day, walking with the crutch is a form of playing for them. Now the narrator is taking the girl to a place where she wants to go inside the school only. So having a leg tied up or hopping about on a crutch is almost fun. I guess having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help and things like that. So I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I will get hurt. Where are we now? So the girl is telling about the different sorts of days, that being deaf is all right, she can do that. Being lame, she can do that. But while she will have any injury in her hand, it will be difficult for her to eat or do any other things, daily chores that she needs to do. She cannot do that. So the girl is telling about her experience to the author. In the beginning, I said that Lucas is a master of writing non-fictional essays. What are fiction, students? Fictions are imaginary things and non-fictions are realistic things. So this is a kind of realistic story where the experience of meeting these children is a kind of realistic thing, which it's a realistic essay, non-fictional essay which you are reading. So in the playground, I said, we are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked in a different kind of school. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. So now, since the girl cannot see, she is asking the narrator about different things. That Miss Beam is walking with a girl. Now she is asking that what kind of dress the girl is wearing, how she looks like. So thinking about that, she will try to identify who the girl is. Now, what is the girl wearing? My little friend asked in a different kind of school. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. I think it's Millie, she said. What color is her hair? Very light, I said. Yes, that's Millie. She is the head girl. And there is an old man tying up roses, I said. Yes, that's Peter. And he is the gardener. He is 100 years old. Now the girl is asking about different things to the author. She has found that with Miss Beam, it's Millie, the head girl, the gardener who is about 100 years old. So it's a kind of fun for her that without her vision, she is getting the knowledge that what the other children and the other people in the school are doing. And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She is on crutches. So now the narrator says, now here comes a girl with curly red hair and she is on crutches. Now that's Anita, she said in a different kind of school. And so we walked on. Gradually I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. So After this, they walked gradually in the garden for a period of time. Then the narrator himself is telling that this experience of meeting the children at Miss Beam's school had made him more thoughtful. Now he himself wants to play this role of blind day, a role in different roles on a blind day and all these days, to realize, to become more and more thoughtful. And while leaving the school, this person, this narrator, the narrator had told Miss Beam that he is feeling very sorry to leave the school. So then Miss Beam thinks, so there lies the success of his institution, where he can lead the children to become thoughtful, to become more and more empathetic. It's not sympathy, dear students. There is a difference between sympathy and empathy. Empathy is to feel for them. Okay. So here, after the whole conversation, when Lucas is leaving, when the narrator is leaving the place, then he himself told Miss Beam that it was a wonderful experience for him. Okay. So far this is the story which I have explained to you, which I hope you have understood, students. In both these classes, I have explained the whole story to you. Now you go through, you thoroughly read the story at least 5 to 6 times. Since this is class 6, now you will have insight questions, a lot many insight questions. So grow and nurture the habit of reading the text thoroughly, line by line. Okay. And as many times you will read the chapter, you will be more and more capable of writing all the answers. You will answer the questions better. Okay. And you will score good in your exams. So I would tell you, read the texts many a times. There are many words, while you will read the text, you will find many difficult words whose meaning you don't know. So find them in dictionary. 2 things I will recommend to you. First is reading aloud. Reading a text 10 times, 15 times. Don't depend on the questions, exercise questions, classwork questions. Just have faith on yourself that I can read the chapter. I will read the chapter 50 times, 15 times, 20 times, and I myself can answer everything. So have the willpower that I can write the answers. I can frame my own answers. My answers will be correct. And the key to write good answers is to read the chapters many times. Understood, students? This is one thing, and the other thing is to enrich your vocabulary. Whichever word you think you don't know the meaning, read it many times and many times. The more you read, the more you will be able to answer the questions well. And whatever words you are writing, try to write these answers, or try to make use of these words while writing other answers or writing something else. So bye for today. Tomorrow I will give you some questions. Okay. Have a good day.